Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to reverse sear a ribeye steak in a pellet smoker. All right, so we're just going to open our hopper lid and put some pellets in. I'm just using the leftover pellets from our last cook, which was the brisket. So if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you do. Then we'll shut our hopper lid, turn our smoker on, set our temperature. For this cook is going to be around 120 Celsius or 250 Fahrenheit. And then that's going to start up and do its preheating cycle. All right, so we've got our beautiful ribeye, tomahawk, whatever you want to call it. Pick this up from Mostrel Meat. All I'm going to do is give this a little trim as the fat is a little bit thick there. That's not going to render down during the cook, so we'll just trim that off like so. Maybe a little bit of fat off there. A little bit of silver skin there. Honestly, that's all the trimming that one needs. And I've also got a marrow bone here as I want to make a bone marrow chimichurri. So now our ribeye is seasoned up, we're going to season our marrow bone and our ribeye. So we're going to give the ribeye a nice generous coat in my beef bounce rub, or if you've got another favourite beef rub, go ahead and use that. Honestly, just a little bit of salt and pepper would do the trick as well. Make sure we mop up any of that rub we've spilt on the bench. And then this marrow bone, we're just going to put a little bit of my garlic gold seasoning on top. Now these are ready to go once our smoker's up to temperature. All right, we're at temperature. I'm also going to plug in the probe that comes with this. We'll give that a run and see how it goes. And then we'll open our barbecue up. I'm going to put the marrow bone on the bottom shelf. Our ribeye just up here. Then I'll get that meat probe in. We want that right in the middle of the steak. And then we'll shut our lid and let these cook away. All right, so with our steak, we're going to take it until it reaches an internal temperature of around 54 degrees Celsius or 130 Fahrenheit. I reckon it's going to take around 45 minutes to an hour to get there. And with our marrow bone, that should be done at around the same time. But if you want to be safe, take that until it reaches an internal temperature of around 145 Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. And you can check the temperature of the marrow bone just by probing around in the thickest, deepest part of that bone marrow. So while our steak and marrow bone are cooking away, we'll make the rest of this chimichurri so we can add our bone marrow in later on. All right, chimichurri. We're going to start by finely chopping some parsley. And we want equal parts parsley to olive oil. So I reckon we're going to end up with about a 3/4 cup of chopped parsley here. So we'll add in around 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. And we'll get that into a bowl. Then I've got a cayenne chili here. We're just going to de-seed this, finely chop that and add it in as well. And that can go into our bowl. Then I've got around 7 small cloves of garlic. I'm just going to crush them in. Then we want the juice of half a lemon. And I want a good chili kick from this, so I'm going to add in a good pinch of hot chili flakes, a good pinch of salt, around 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and around 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. Then give it a good mix. And have a taste, adjust it to your liking, and we'll put that aside until later on when we can add that bone marrow in. All right, so our steak has hit temperature after around 45 minutes. So we'll take our meat probe out, and then we'll get our steak out. And I'll just get that on some foil and loosely wrap it. And we'll let that rest for around 10 to 15 minutes. And then we can get our marrow bone out as well. That is looking amazing. And we'll just let that cool off while our steak rests, and then we can add it into our chimichurri. All right, now we can switch this lever into sear mode, which will kind of open up that diffuser plate and let a lot more heat through that grill. And then we can switch our mode to sear mode, set our temperature. We're going to go 315 Celsius or 600 Fahrenheit. Then we'll let it come up to temperature. And once our steak's rested, we'll come back to sear it. All right, we're just about ready to sear this steak. But first, we're going to add our bone marrow into the chimichurri. We want to give that a good mix around. And then you can have one more taste. Add more marrow if you like. Adjust it to your liking. And then we'll come back to use this once it's ready to go on the steak. All right, now we are ready to sear this steak. We're going to go straight on top here. And we're going to give it around 45 to 60 seconds per side. I'll give the side that was facing up during the smoke a little bit longer. And I've just turned the lights off around the camera so you can see how much heat is coming through that diffuser. All right, we'll flip it over. And now we'll get this out. And now we'll shut our lid. And we just want to hold that shutdown button. Drain the hopper just by pulling this lever on the side. And now that'll automatically finish the rest of its shutdown cycle. Well, there you have it. There's how to reverse sear a ribeye steak in a pellet smoker. Not every pellet smoker can do it, but the Oklahoma Joe's Rider absolutely can. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. But for now, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.